What's going on, guys? Chad here with Greenlight Shooting. Welcome to a new video. So today we've got something a little bit different, but sort of still in the same vein. Today we are talking about a smart lock for your door. Now, you know, you can skew this as being a security and privacy thing, but at the end of the day, I really like the idea of this for a lot of reasons. So let's talk a little bit about it. First up, this is made by a company called WeLock. So they reached out to me, said, hey, can we send one of these out for review? And at first I wasn't sure about it, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, yeah, let's give it a shot. Number one, I'm always up for new and innovative technologies. My whole house at home is all sort of the smart home technology, so I'm a big fan of that stuff. But at my studio, I don't have anything like that. And I also don't have I don't have a home display, like a control panel or anything like that. And a lot of these locks that you get need some sort of control panel to hook up to. You need to pay some monthly fee, blah, blah, blah. You need to download the app. What I really liked about this is its simplicity. This thing is just a doorknob with a keypad on it. There's a couple different functionalities about it, but at the end of the day, that's sort of it. And I think that's a really big deal. They said that it's a 5-minute install. You just take off your old doorknob, put this one on, and then you've got this keypad functionality. So this keypad allows you obviously to have personal codes. So I can have a code, Kyle can have a code to get in here. If we've got maybe like a one-time user, they can get their own code. Additionally, if we leave, I've got all the camera gear and stuff in here. Sometimes we're going out to a shoot, we're carrying a bunch of stuff, and you forget to lock the door behind you. This thing you can set to automatically lock after 5 seconds of no use or whatever. It's got a couple different sort of security functions in terms of they call it their anti-peep mode, where essentially you can just put in a bunch of numbers before your code or after your code and it'll still unlock. So if you feel like someone's watching or whatever, you don't have to actually put in just that code. It can make it a little bit more convoluted, I guess, to watch. It's also got other functionality, things just like a silent mode where you can keep it quiet if you're coming home and you've got roommates or whatever, it's middle of the night, that kind of thing. There's a lot of cool things about this. Most importantly is that it doesn't have to hook up to Wi-Fi and apps and things like that. With all that being said, I think the extra functionality is worth it. Most importantly, I didn't say this yet, this thing's 50 bucks. You know, a lot of those smart locks out there, because of all that added functionality, are gonna cost quite a bit more. So I think this is in a really sweet spot for your budget as well as features, and I'm excited to install it. We've got a door in the back of the studio that's we can't really use. It's an old school door with a key, but we don't have the key, so we can only use it if it's already unlocked from the inside. You can't access it if you're just getting it here from the outside or whatever. So we're gonna go try and switch that doorknob out, throw this on there, see how the install time works, and just see how the lock itself functions. So let's go do it. All right, so we got that thing installed, and it was pretty simple, man. The installation only took 5 or 10 minutes, just like they said, so it was pretty straightforward for the most part. And overall, I kind of like it. I kind of like it even a little bit more than I thought I would, to be honest. It's kind of fun, it's kind of funky, it looks kind of real modern. It's cool, the functionality. So the external knob, it just sits there and spins until you put in the code. You put in the code, it catches, and then you have control of the mechanism. So it's kind of a cool setup. I did try the whole scramble pin thing where you just put in a bunch of random numbers, put in your code somewhere in the middle, keep going random, and then you hit the lock button at the end of that string. And as long as it's less than 30 characters, it'll read that and then it still catches, and then you have access. So that's really kind of a cool feature. And then once you leave the doorknob alone, the default's set to 8 seconds. You can shorten or lengthen that, but after 8 seconds of leaving it alone, it auto locks. So That's really cool. There is a mode where you can leave it like completely unlocked if you're coming in and out a bunch for some reason or whatever. For 50 bucks, the idea that it just gives your doorknob that much more functionality, I'm pretty stoked on it, man. It's got a good look. It's got some funky little like old school Game Boy style like sound effects. We decided not to put it on silent mode because we enjoyed the nostalgia a little bit. And yeah, man, I don't know. Like I kind of went into this like, oh, it's a doorknob. What could it be? But it's kind of dope, and I love the fact that I don't have to have an app to use it. So there were a couple weird things about the doorknob. Number one is that I think it's IPX44 waterproof, which is just essentially like splash proof. They recommend either having it like on an interior door or at least an exterior door with like an awning or a covering or something. So I don't know how it would stand up in terms of like direct rain or direct water hitting it. So that's something to keep in mind. And then the other thing is, it's kind of odd, but on the outside there's like a little rubber flap you can open up, and then you have a backup key, like a manual key. But then there's also 3 Allen screws, and if you were to take those Allen screws out, you get access to the battery compartment. So you can access the batteries from the outside, which to me, doesn't really make a lot of sense on either side. Like even if you're the bad guy or whatever and you take the batteries out, you still can't get in. I guess just neither can the owner. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. If that does happen, if your batteries go fully dead or the batteries, get stolen, I guess, there are 2 backups. Number one, like I said, there's an actual manual key, but even if you don't have that key, you can get a power bank and plug that into the micro USB in there, and that'll give the doorknob enough power to be able to enter your key code and enter that way. So it's cool that they have all those backup functionalities in place. It's just kind of odd that you can access the battery compartment from the outside, as well as the waterproof kind of splash proof only thing. Anyways, I don't think the functionality is meant to be able to lock down Fort Knox. I think it's just something that gives you a little bit extra functionality with your doorknob, and I think this does it great. And for 50 bucks, it's hard to beat, man. So if you guys are interested in picking one up, they are on Amazon. The link is down in the video description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you are down for the ride, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Greenlight Shooting. Peace out.